And then the toilet sits here. So the toilet sits here in the room in front of the shower. And we see that the toilet drawn from above looks like this. Right? This is a function of a rectangle and a circle. The circle's connected at the tangent points here, like a square to the tank. We know that a toilet from the side looks something like this. The tank sits here, and then this part here wings out over that way, and then there's sort of a bowl here, right? So we know that this here is like a sphere cut in half, right? And this sits down on the floor, maybe it does something like that. And then there's something here, there's usually some plumbing that goes back here so that water flows from the tank to the bowl, right? So here's a top view, here's a side view. We all know that when a circle goes into perspective, it becomes an ellipse. So the bowl is going to do something like this, right? This says that the water closet depth is 28, 18 wide, 30 high. The tank is 15 wide, and the seat is 18 high. All right, 15 width, 30 height. So 30 high is 2.5, right? 24. 2.5 is going to be right there. So I'm coming back here to my ruler. I'm finding 2.5, drawing away from my vanishing point. This is the height of my toilet right there. 18 inches wide, that's a foot and a half. Here I've got 8 foot, here I've got 12. So to get my proportion right, I want to say I've got 2 feet there. No, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is I'm going to bring my 10 foot across to center my tank. So here's my center right there, right? So I basically want to go a little less than a foot on either side of it. I'm going to just, since I'm sketching, go halfway between the 8 and the 10. I'm going to bring it out here between the 10 and the 12. That's going to give me a 2 foot width for the tank. I could come just inside of that to make it more close to the 1.5 that my designer told me it was supposed to be. Right? So here's where the top of the tank is going to hit the wall. And here we're going to see it come down the wall. The seat, it says, is 18 inches high. So just like a chair is a foot and a half, we want the toilet seat to be the same thing. That way we feel comfortable sitting down. That's also the tub height. So I can bring my tub height straight out. I'm going to walk that flatly, horizontally into the room. So I've got a line like this one that tells me where the center of that toilet's going to sit. Here's then the point where the tank is going to come out into the room, and here the tank is going to come out. So I'm going to see these. I think the tank it said was 15 wide, so I'm going to come out about a foot or a little more. This right here is 3 feet, so I'm going to come out almost a foot and a half. Quite less than that, so I'm going to come here. to vanishing point, flat out, straight down. This is going to go to vanishing point. So that's my toilet tank right there. Now I can X across that, or I can come out here across the middle and find the middle of this. The reason I need the middle, well, there it is again. So the middle there is the middle here, of course. That's going to drop down to the floor right here, and it's going to come out in the room. Maybe not quite as far out as the shower, so I'm going to cut that back a little bit and say this is going to be the end of that seat. So from here to here now I need to draw an ellipse. And it needs to be a horizontal ellipse because every object that sits on a horizontal surface has a horizontal ellipse. It does not matter if you're drawing in a 1 point or if you're drawing in a 2 point. When you set a cylinder or a bowl or a pan on top of a stove or anything, you draw a horizontal ellipse through the bottom of it and through the top of it so that it looks like it's sitting on a horizontal surface, because the center line is always going to be vertical if it's sitting on horizontal, right? That's how balance works. So the center line is vertical, so the top of a vase or a pan or a pot or any round object must be horizontal. All right? That holds true of this ellipse that we're looking at for the top of the toilet. So I'm drawing this ellipse here with this horizontal guideline. It's going to be about as wide as that. So I'm going to come here, and I'm going to come up to that line and down to this one, and I'm going to come down to this line. I'm going to hit that line, and that's going to be the top of my toilet tank. I'm going to come down here now before it hits the floor. It's going to hit the floor right about here, so I can draw another horizontal ellipse down here. I'm going to do something here that looks proportionally right, so I'm coming a little less than halfway to make this tank sit here. And then this I'm just going to bring to the floor. To make it look okay. Now that actually looks quite stubby. I don't like it, so I'm going to change it. I am going to make this come halfway to the floor. Drawing is a series of corrections, so I'm not afraid to take it and make it different if it's going to make it better. And I'll show you when we shade and color this how to correct for that. You're basically just going to shade this new tank. You also could go in here and say, these are the lines I want you to see, so I'm going to draw some contours around there. And these are going to be flat, so I'm going to draw some contours to the vanishing point and off that way that show that this is where I want you to see the edge and not there. Here I want to connect something up under here that looks like plumbing. This I want it to be bigger, so I'm going to shade this to this line here. I'm not going to have that one. I'm going to have this one be part of it. I'm not going to scribble it out. I'm not going to color it. I'm going to wait until I get into my pencils to fix that. Okay? I'm now ready, since I did all of that with a 0.01, to go in. I can go in here now, be more specific about what I want you to see there. I feel like this back is really low too. I'm going to make mine taller. So that's my new toilet. You can see all the times I've changed my mind in there, but you're reading now the one that I really wanted you to see. Alright? So if I take my number 5 pen at the end of my drawing, I can be more specific about my line. I can play with line here too, right? I can sometimes make a hard line and sometimes make a soft line. This tub also is a function of the ellipse. I've got a tub that sits inside a square that's cut off at the front and then goes across this way. So I've got a circle here and a circle here, and then this comes tangent like this, doesn't it? That's how I understand this ellipse here. Therefore, this circle here and this circle here are going to be horizontal ellipses when I lay them down over here. Back to my L1 pen so I can figure this out. So I'm going to have going from this corner to this corner my center line of the tub. But my ellipses have to lay horizontal halfway across. So if I go this way, that's my center here. Actually, no, that's this line here. Right? Not quite center. Center should be pushed back. So if I have an ellipse here, I'm drawing a horizontal ellipse again. See how that's on a horizontal axis? Then I'm drawing here a horizontal ellipse again. Then I'm drawing tangent from this ellipse to that ellipse across here, and from this ellipse to that ellipse across there. So my tub opening I believe is going